Thank you for tuning to our FTP support channel for Premiere Networks on YouTube. We're going to go over how to access our FTP server, download your Delilah custom segments files, how to map that to your local machine, and also how to access those files using an FTP client. So you're going to get an email from Premiere Networks that has your FTP address, username, and password. It will also have an embedded link option. What we're going to do here is open up a Windows Explorer. If you do not have, it's also called File Explorer, by the way, depending on which version of Windows you're running. If you don't have the manila folder down in your taskbar, you can access by right-clicking the Start menu and open Windows Explorer. Or you can click the Start menu and right-click Computer and hit Open. All roads end up in the same location. We're going to click in our address bar here, enter the FTP address. I've already got it in here, so I'm going to go ahead and enter that. You're going to type in your username and the password as given. You can click Save Password, however we don't recommend it, because when you save that, it just saves it into a temporary file location. It's cached. So if you were to open an internet browser and delete your browser history and your cache and all that, that save password would get deleted along with it. And if you happen to use this method to connect to Premiere's FTP server with any other accounts, it would require you to go a couple additional steps to get logged in with those accounts so that you can access the information that you're looking for. So again, you can do it, we just don't recommend it. So we're going to hit login. We're going to browse to the Delilah folder. You will be browsing and looking for your station-specific call letters folder. In this case, I'm going to use the demo folder to show you what everything's going to look like. Inside your station folder, it's going to look exactly like this, with the exception that if you're getting a different version of the custom segments, the naming sequence will be slightly different. Important to note that the only element in this naming sequence that is dynamic is the date range. All other elements in the date and the naming sequence are static if you're looking to create an automated import with some wildcards or script this in some way, form, or fashion. So in order to download from our server, we sort by date modified so that you can get the most recent content. It's very likely that that is exactly what the show that you're looking for. So let's grab the show for today, which is March 19th. There are 30 cuts, and always 30 cuts. We're going to hold down the Control key and hit the letter C for copy. You can also right-click one and copy to folder. That's another option. Since I've already copied them, I'm going to minimize, open up a temp folder I've created on my desktop, right-click and paste. And now everything is downloaded, and I can use them however I need. So that is the long and short of it, connecting to our FTP server via Windows Explorer. The other option you have with Windows Explorer, let's close this, is you can map that information. You can see that we've mapped it. I'm going to go ahead and delete that, recreate it for you so show you how to do it. You click on Computer, right click, add network location, go to Next, Next again. I'm going to use the embedded link. This is going to be the first link in the email. It's going to have the username and password in it. You can name this whatever you want. Hit Next and finish, and then you notice I had the open location when I'm finished button checked, so it went ahead and logged me in and browsed to the folder that I told it to by using the embedded link. Now, the last step to this equation is you right-click, highlight, left, just click on a regular normal left click, and now right-click, send to desktop as a shortcut. And so now the next time you log in or you use this local machine to connect to our FTP server, all you have to do is double click on the shortcut and you're good to go. I don't personally recommend using Windows Explorer for daily usage, and since you're going to be using our server presumably every day to download the new Delilah show, I would instead prefer that you use some kind of FTP client software. So let's delete anything out of our temp folder there. FileZilla is free. It's very small. It's at www.filezilla-project.org. And how you connect is in here in the host. Type in the server name, which is ftp.premiere-networks.com. Username is from your email. Password also from your email. You can hit enter or click on quick connect. You can leave the port blank, and it will connect you to our FTP server over here on the right hand side. Browse to Delilah. Browse to your station folder, which if you remember for me today is this demo folder. Highlight everything you intend on going to. Before we do that, over on the left hand side, let's make sure we have our local location set. Now back on the right, we're going to highlight all of our files that we want. Hold down Control, just go ahead and drag them right to left, and it will start the download immediately. You have two other options. One other option to download from our server to a local folder. You want, since they're highlighted, hold down the Control key, grab everything in, download or drag them down to the queue. You see how this queue to files as 30. To process the queue, you can use the transfer menu and either click on process queue or hold down Control and the letter P, and it will immediately start processing files in the queue. If you didn't want to click and drag, you can right click, add files to queue. It's the same thing. The other option with an FTP client in specific FileZilla is called the Site Manager. You can create yourself a site that has your host, username, and password information. You notice down here in the comments box, I put a plain text note to myself about what my password would be in this hypothetical, so that should you, the user, need to recreate this connection outside of FileZilla and you didn't exactly save our email, didn't remember what your password was, it would be saved in a plain text for you. And then also in the Advanced tab, you notice in the default remote directory, I have entered in my full path with the Delilah directory and the subfolders we were going to, so that when I want to come in here the next time, use FileZilla, I can go to the Site Manager, Delilah's highlighted, and I hit connect, and it's automatically going to log me into the server and browse to the path that we've entered, and then I can proceed with my download from there. And that's a couple different ways that you can access our FTP server and download your Delilah files. One thing we're going to show you here real quick: if you get into your station folder and you are missing a file, so they're already working on tomorrow's show, notice there's only 3 files there. Let's just say they get done and there's 29 in your folder and you're missing that 30th file. You can go back to the main Delilah directory. There is a segment show emergency backup. Browse to that folder. You see we have 4 different versions of the custom segments. You're going to enter into the folder of the version you're running. If you do not know, you are most likely using the AC segments version. That's the default for everyone. And then you can hopefully find the missing segment in this folder. Should you not see it in either location, please shoot us an email, let us know, and we'll get a hold of the Delilah staff and get that rectified for you as soon as possible. Again, with any questions like missing files or folder access or server access or any of the above, please email us at ftp@premiere-networks.com. Premiere is spelled Premiere networks.com. Thank you very much.